Well, good morning, SECC family, and welcome back to our journey through the Bible. As you can see, we are back in my office this morning, and we are going to be looking at 1 Chronicles chapter 8. Let's see how far we get as time allows. Stick around. Here we go, 1 Chronicles chapter 8. Here we go, 1 Chronicles chapter 8. Benjamin fathered Bela, his firstborn, Ashbel the second, Ahara the third, Nohan the fourth, and Rapha the fifth. And Bela had sons, Adar, Gera, Abihud, Abshua, Naaman, Ahoah, Gera, Shephupan, and Huram. These are the sons of Ehud. They were heads of fathers' houses and inhabitants of Geba, and they were carried into exile to Manahath. Naaman, Ahijah, and Gera, that is Heglam, who fathered Uzzah and Ahihud, and Shaharaim fathered sons in the country of Moab after he sent away Husham and Bara, his wives. His father's sons by Hodash, his wife, Jobab, Zibiah, Mesha, Melcam, Juez, Satua, Mirma. These were his sons, heads of their fathers' houses. He also fathered sons by Husham, Ahitub, and Elpal. The sons of Elpal, Eber, Misham, and Shemed, who built Ono and Lod with its towns, and Beria and Shema. They were heads of fathers' houses with the inhabitants of Hijon, who caused the inhabitants of Gath to flee. And Ahio, Shashak, and Jeremoth. Zebediah, Arad, Eder, Michael, Ishpa, and Joha were sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Meshullam, Hikzi, Heber, Ishmeri, Isliah, and Jobab were the sons of Elpal. Jacob, Zikri, Zabdi, Elani, Zelethai, Eliel, Adoniah, Beriah, and Shimrath were sons of Shimei. Ishpan, Eber, Eliel, Abdon, Zikri, Hananiah, Elam, Anthojah, Ipthadiah, and Penuel were the sons of Shashak. Shemshirai, Sheharai, Athaliah, Jereshiah, Elijah, and Zikri were the sons of Jeroham. These were the heads of fathers' houses according to their generations, chief men. These lived in Jerusalem. Jeiel, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon, and the name of his wife was Maacah. His firstborn son, Abdon, then Zur, Kish, Baal, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechar, and Mikloth. He fathered Shimeah. Now these also lived opposite their kinsmen in Jerusalem with their kinsmen. Ner was the father of Kish, Kish of Saul, Saul of Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab, and Eshbel. And the sons of Jonathan were Mirabel, and Mirabel was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Teriah, and Ahaz. Ahaz fathered Jehoiada, and Jehoiada fathered Elameth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. Zimri fathered Mosa. Mosa fathered Biniah. Raphath was his son. Elisha, his son. Azel, his son. Azel had 6 sons, and these are their names: Azrikam, Bakeru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. All of these were sons of Azel. The sons of Eshek, his brother, Ulam, his firstborn, Juesh the second, and Eliphat the third. The sons of Ulam were men who were mighty warriors, bowmen, having many sons and grandsons, 150. All these were Benjaminites. Chapter 9. So all Israel was recorded in genealogies, and these are written in the books of the kings of Israel. And Judah was taken into exile in Babylon because of their breach of faith. Now, the first to dwell again in their possession in their cities were Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the temple servants. And some of the people of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh lived in Jerusalem. Othai, the son of Ahimaud, son of Omri, son of Imri, son of Bani, from the sons of Perez, the sons of Judah, and of the Shilonites, Uzziah, the firstborn, and his sons, of the sons of Zerah, Jewel, and their kinsmen, 690 of the Benjaminites, Salu, the son of Meshullam, son of Hadaviah, son of Hasanuah, Ibniah, the son of Jeroham, Ella, son of Uzi, son of Mikri, and Meshullam, the son of Shaphatiah, son of Ruel, son of Ibnijah, and their kinsmen according to their generations, 956. All these were heads of their fathers according to their fathers' houses. Of the priest, Jediah and Jehoiarib, Jachin, and Azariah, the sons of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Marioth, son of Ahitub, the chief officer of the house of God, and Adiah, the son of Jehoram, son of Pashur, son of Melchijiah, and Masih, son of Adiel, son of Jezerah, son of Meshullam, son of Meshulamith, son of Immer. Besides their kinsmen, heads of their fathers' houses, 1,760 mighty men for the work of the service of the house of God. Of the Levites, Shemaiah, the son of Hashub, son of Ezrakam, son of Hashabiah, of the sons of Merari, and Bakbaker, Harish, Galil, and Mattaniah, the son of Micah, son of Zikri, son of Asaph, and Obadiah, son of Shemaiah, son of Galil, son of Jeduthun, and Bechariah, son of Asa, son of Elkanah, who lived in the villages of the Netophathites. The gatekeepers were Shallum, Akub, Talman, Ahiman, and their kinsmen. Shallum was the chief, until they were in the king's gate at the east side of the gatekeepers of the camps of the Levites. Shallum, the son of Kor, son of Ebasaph, son of Korah, and his kinsmen of his father's house, the Korahites, were in charge of the work of the service, keepers of the thresholds of the tent, as their fathers had been in charge of the camp of the Lord, keepers of the entrance, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, was the chief officer over them in time past. The Lord was with him. Zechariah, the son of Meshelemiah, was gatekeeper at the entrance of the tent of meeting. All these who were chosen as gatekeepers at the thresholds were 212. They were enrolled by genealogies in their villages. David and Samuel, the seer, established them in their office of trust. So they and their sons were in charge of the gates of the house of the Lord, that is, the house of the tent, as guards. The gatekeepers were on the four sides, east, west, north, and south. And their kinsmen, who were in the villages, were obligated to come in every 7 days to turn to be with these. For the four chief gatekeepers, who were Levites, were entrusted to be over the chambers and the treasures of the house of God. And they lodged around the house of God, for on them lay the duty of watching, and they had charge of opening it every morning. Some of them had charge of the utensils of service, for they were required to count them when they were brought in and taken out. Others of them were appointed over the furniture and over all the holy utensils, also over the fine flour, the wine, the oil, the incense, and the spices. Others of the sons of the priests prepared the mixing of the spices, and Mattathiah, one of the Levites, the firstborn of Shallum the Korahite, was entrusted with making the flat cakes. Also some of the kinsmen of the Kohathites had charge of the showbread to prepare it every Sabbath. Now these, the singers, the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites, were in the chambers of the temple, free from their service, for they were on duty day and night. These were the heads of fathers' houses of the Levites, according to their generations, leaders. These lived in Jerusalem. In Gibeon lived the father of Gibeon, Jael, and the name of his wife was Maacah. And the firstborn son, Abdon, then Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Mikloth. And Mikloth was the father of Shimeam, and these also lived opposite their kinsmen in Jerusalem, with their kinsmen. Ner fathered Kish, Kish fathered Saul. Saul fathered Jonathan, Malchishua, Abinadab, and Ashbal. And the sons of Jonathan were Merib-Baal, and Merib-Baal fathered Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Teriah, and Ahaz. And Ahaz fathered Jerah, and Jerah fathered Alameth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. And Zimri fathered Mosa. Mosa fathered Binia, and Rephiah was his son. Eleasa his son, Azel his son. Azel had 6 sons, and these are their names: Azrikam, Bacharu, Ishmael, Shirish, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Azel. Chapter 10. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled before the Philistines and fell slain on Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines overtook Saul and his sons, and the Philistines struck down Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, the sons of Saul. The battle pressed hard against Saul, and the archers found him, and he was wounded by the archers. Then Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and thrust me through with it, lest these uncircumcised come and mistreat me." But his armor-bearer would not, for he feared greatly. Therefore Saul took his own sword and fell upon it, and when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he also fell upon his sword and died. Thus Saul died, he and his 3 sons, all his house died together. And when the men of Israel who were in the valley saw that the army had fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their cities and fled, and the Philistines came and lived in them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, they found Saul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa, and they stripped him and took his head and his armor and sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to carry the good news to their idols and to their people. And they put his armor in the temple of their gods and fastened his head in the temple of Dagon. But when all Jabesh Gilead heard that the Philistines had done to Saul, all the valiant men arose and took away the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons and brought them to Jabesh. And they buried their bones under the oak in Jabesh and fasted 7 days. So Saul died for his breach of faith. He broke faith with the Lord in that he did not keep the command of the Lord, and also consulted a medium seeking guidance. He did not seek guidance from the Lord. Therefore, the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David, the son of Jesse. So that's going to wrap up our reading today in 1 Chronicles. And like I've said before, a lot of genealogy, a lot of lineages and that type of thing, who's fathered who and all that. There's a lot of that in there. But for those who want to know how the family trees work, that stuff has to be there. It has to be there to make sense. Now we're going to get into some of the storyline, just like it was in 1st and 2nd Kings, as to what king did this, what king did that, how they lived their life, whether they did the will of the Lord or didn't do the will of the Lord. And as we can see, Saul did for a while, but then he turned away from the Lord and he was punished because of it. And maybe we can learn a little bit of this. We can learn from a little bit of this as well. But until we get together again tomorrow morning, I would ask the Lord would richly bless you. Yes, you. I hope to see you in church today. If not, have a great and godly day, and I will see you next time.